Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the Well Below Average podcast. Before we get super into this, have y'all been keeping up with the D. Snyder Twitter? Y'all know who D. Snyder is, right? Before I get too far into this,
Alice
Actually, I
in
don't
Chains?
know.
Is that Alice in Chains?
that is not Alice in Chains. Nick,
Damn it. Nick, your
I-
turn. Your turn.
I have no idea. Well, it
Okay, like
sounds
I know the
familiar,
name D.
but I don't
Snyder,
know.
right? He's a very famous he's a very famous musician. He was a part of a band. He's got crazy long blonde hair, and that is all I
Mhm.
can tell you about D. Snyder.
So D. Snyder is a musician. Yes, you've described him perfectly. He was the lead singer of Twisted Sister, 70s, 80s. We're not gonna take it. No, we're not gonna take it. That song.
Okay.
That's his big one. So the MAGAs, the Trumpers, have been using that song as a rallying cry. I can hear myself. Is that me or y'all?
No, I can hear you.
Might
It's
be-
fine.
No, I can hear me too.
Yeah, I don't know if it's. I don't think it's us.
Okay,
Yeah, if you're
I got
hearing an
echo.
echo, but man, are you about to say that he demanded that they stop playing his music?
He not only demanded, he stopped. He's been on a Twitter tirade, tearing the pants off of MAGA people for the last 2 days, and it's crazy. Like, because I guess there's video of him being on stage with the Trump family, singing the song, and they're like, "What about this?" And he's like, "Well, you know what? Me and Trump were friends before he became president and a fascist. We were at a charity event, and someone said if I sang that song with them on stage, I'd give $50,000 to kids on charity, for it was cancer research, St. Jude's. It's like, sure, I'll do it. I don't care. But you know what? He's a fascist asshole. And just he is.
I
just
like that he used his
going
money
nuts.
for good. Although that story, like, not new in Trump world, that they've tried to like reappropriate a song as their own theme song to then be told by the artist, like, quit using my music.
Right.
Neil Young, Rockin' in the Free World, he put out a statement saying Trump could no longer use that song. REM said they would not allow him to play the "It's the End of the World as We Know It" song back in the day. Aerosmith has said you can't use our music. So, I mean, add D. Snyder to the list, and good for him. I don't know what music they have left, but I'm sure they'll find something.
It's funny is have you it's on the mostly on TikTok, the conservative MAGA TikTok, that these people our age that grew up listening to Rage Against the Machine are mad at them because they feel betrayed. And it's kind of a back and forth. It's, you'll see these guys, I've listened to Rage Against the Machine and now they're turned all liberal. Like, these fools had a picture of Che Guevara in like every album. They're really liberal. So why are you upset about this? The machine they're raging against is what Trump and MAGA stands for. I find it funny they get butthurt about that.
Well, it's just sad that it's that easy to like convince people that, I mean, you're exactly right. Like, all the evidence points to Trump being on the side of the billionaires and having been on the side of the billionaires all of his life, all of his natural born life. And yet people are actually convinced that he is fighting for the common man. There's a man who once had a golden toilet put in his house, and yet every man out there is thinking he is thinking anything like them. It's astonishing, saddening.
Nick seems like a guy that would have a golden toilet.
Yeah, it's actually it's one of our many nice things we have in the house that we just kind of keep hidden. We live a normal life on the outside, but on the inside, bathrooms, kitchens, very lavish, golden toilets, diamond sink fixtures, those kinds of things.
See, now if you had a bidet, I'd buy it. Like,
I've considered
that's just
a
good
bidet.
hygiene, okay?
I've considered it. Never fully got on board there.
I have considered it. Have you ever used one? Either of you?
I haven't.
Way off subject, but still toilet related. Have I told you my when I was in Doha, Qatar, my story of I had to told you, Nick, right?
That doesn't ring a bell, but you might have.
So when I was in the Marine Corps, we were stationed in Iraq. There's an Air Force base in Qatar, whatever you call it. Then you do R&R, rest and relaxation there. You get like a few days off to fly you out. Basically, I just sat in my little tent in the air conditioning and slept for 3 days. But I did go out to the city part. It's really nice. Like it's opulent. There's everybody drives Range Rovers and Bentleys. It's crazy. But the food there didn't really agree with me. So I'm in this big giant mall and I go to the restroom and I gotta go. I gotta go. And every stall, so the toilets are different. They're a hole in the floor.
Yeah.
I've heard that.
You gotta squat. And I had to go. So I basically set like not crisscross applesauce, but just set down on it in a hole in the floor and just went. I didn't know how to use it. I don't know how to. I just like sat down on the floor and just let it flow in the middle of a foreign country.
I mean, from
Toilet
what it
paper
sounds
was
like
like
you were
here.
dealing with, like there was a pretty high propensity for a splash zone, and you like really had to gauge how much space you're going to give between your butt cheeks and the hole in the ground as to how much risk you want to run, right? Like,
Yeah.
the further the distance, the higher the splashback, right? The greater the risk.
Yeah, I was flat down there, but the cherry on top is I cleaned myself up because there was a mess. I noticed at the very end of all the stalls, there's American style toilets.
Oh man. You're just in such a rush.
I had like, it was like, oh no, I gotta go. I'm just gonna sit on top of it directly because I don't know what's going on here. I think you're supposed to.
Did you
squat
line
with
the
that
floor with like toilet paper, like to protect your butt cheeks, or did you potentially contract?
Is the hole
I
not
raw dogged it, bro. What's
like
up,
in
Nick?
my mind, this hole would be much wider. Like you couldn't really, like it's not designed to be, sat directly on top of. Like it would make sense to me that this hole is wider. The catch radius is pretty wide.
Well, I understand it's more like a trough, no, where you can like
Yeah, it's more rectangular, but it's
some
okay.
kind of
narrow.
angle if needed.
Okay, that makes sense.
But it was it was an experience to say the least. But I would have loved a bidet at that point because I needed to be power washed a little.
Yeah, I've never used one, but I've always considered buying one. You can get them pretty cheap and pretty easy to install. But
Yeah,
I mean, in general, I recommend the use of a wet wipe every time you use the toilet. Like I'll almost always, if I'm able to get close to a sink, I'll run a thing of toilet paper underwater real quick.
I do that. Well, I'll wet the bottom of the sink
and then dry afterwards, right? Like it's the only way.
What? I understand using like the designed Cottonelle wet wipe,
No, I don't like those.
Contact.
They're not designed to actually
plumbers
they
yelled at me
create
for those.
clogs in our sewage system.
Oh, I know, but Yeah, like you shouldn't use
Nick
them.
doesn't
I
care.
don't. But like wetting toilet paper, that's just like breaks apart in your hands. Oh, that's gross.
Oh, you got to get the
I
sharp
don't
and
s-
strong though. You got to get the strong for sure. Like you need to get toilet
Oh,
paper
yeah.
that holds up. It does not go. You cannot. This is not universal use. You cannot use
Yeah.
this on all toilet papers, and certainly not one at like you know a public place.
Or like the college dorm where it's like basically transparent. You can see
Ugh.
through the toilet
No.
paper. Yeah.
No.
Actually, my wife bought us some of that. What you're just describing, toilet paper that's kind of see through, and you have to wrap it around your hand about 40 times.
You're using
Well,
like
worthless.
a pile of
You wind up using
Yeah.
like 3 times as much. What's the point? You're not saving anything.
Yeah.
No, we just ran out of the dollar store, grabbed it because we were out. But yeah, it's not good right now. It's not good, and it all ended up in my restroom. So the kids got good toilet paper. I got all the bad stuff.
Of course. Your ass
Yeah,
can
I'll
take
finish
the
it off.
pounding. Who cares? Who cares about it?
Wow. So D Snyder, right? Yeah, that's what we're at, right?
Yeah. Salute, D.
Yes. Well, real quick before we get into it, let me introduce to my this way, Nick Nepic. How you doing today, Nick? What's going
I'm
on?
doing good. Yeah, doing good. Getting over a little bit of a cold. My daughter is in that phase where she's around other kids more, and so every other week she's really snotty and got a cough. So inevitably one of us gets it. So yeah, it was me the last couple of days. So been congested, blowing my nose a lot. But getting over that, and yeah, other than that, it was a good weekend.
Awesome. Glad we're all together again here. Roy, how's
What
it going?
up?
Check in. How's the 2
It's
weeks
going
been?
good. Same story as Nick, actually. Funny enough, my 3-year-old daughter was at home all week long. She was blowing snot rockets that were just unbelievable. I don't know about you, Nick, but we use this device we just called it the nose sucker.
Oh
And
yeah.
we stick it in her nostril and we suck out the other side. Now, granted, there's like enough space and things in
Right.
between
Oh, yeah.
filtration
Yeah,
systems
like-
that I'm not
yeah.
sucking up her boogers, right? But I do get a good idea of what is in there. And she has more. I mean, you guys see this. You see how big this thing is, right? She has more than anything I have produced in the last like several years. And she's doing it on a like unbelievable scale.
Does she is that a hold her down, she hates it kind of thing?
Used to be.
'cause
Used to be.
Yeah, 'cause yeah, that's what my daughter, she's 13 months, and we've started to do that ever since like 10 months until now. And I mean, my wife holds her like face still, and I'm the one doing the sucker thing, and she screams, she hates it. Oh my gosh, makes me feel like I'm torturing her. So
I
I'm
know
wondering
you
if
feel
it
like you're
gets you
sucking your
better.
brains out, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
No, I definitely have had some moments, but I mean, now she like will ask for it, like, "Hey, will you suck my nose? Will you suck my nose?" She likes it; it feels good to her. It's a cleansing thing. So I don't know. Now my son may be sick, so we're hoping that I don't have to do a whole nother week of at home work with the kid in tow. But hey, that's what my life has been about. Oh, and I scored again today in my over 30 men's league. 4th goal in 5 games. Man, I'm on fire lately.
There you go.
Soccer?
Hell yeah. Yeah, a little bit of
Football.
soccer. A little bit of soccer.
Okay.
Another header goal, my 2nd of the season.
Oh,
Nice.
what position they have you at?
I usually play forward and like winger because I mean, I'm kind of like I'm an Olivier Giroud type. If you're a soccer fan, not very fast, not particularly skilled, but I will post goals. Like I'll score some headers. I'll score like something dumb that you wouldn't maybe expect, and then I'll get like a couple in behind. But it's been good. It's been working for me this week.
Are the games more high scoring because the defense is bad, or are they low scoring because in general everyone's just kind of out of shape, not that great? Like we're just going to have
pretty
fun
even.
kind of thing.
It's pretty even. Like the game today was 2-2. We've lost 4-1, and then we won another game like 2-0. And then so I mean they're like pretty reasonable. It's not crazy.
Okay.
Yeah. But guys do get tired, especially if you don't have like a full team or enough players to sub in consistently. Oh my God. I wouldn't I like get pissed off if we don't have at least 3 subs.
I
Too
would
old.
too.
Too old,
Yeah.
man. Too old to be running up
Yeah.
and down for that shit.
I was too old for soccer when I was in shape. Too much running.
It is still, but it's the only thing I do to like stay in any kind of shape, and that's using the term loosely.
Well, awesome to have y'all here. We got a show. I'm not going to say a great show, but a show.
Above average.
Talk about our sponsors. Yeah, it's quite a bit above average. I forgot my t-shirts. They're right there. I can see them. Let's talk about our sponsors a little bit. I'll jump in first with Local Menace, and they are a Dallas-based streetwear brand, artist-owned, cool designs. Check them out, man. It's awesome. It's if I had my t-shirt up, you'd see one of their great designs. They do hats, t-shirts, hoodies, buttons, pendants, patches, all kinds of stuff. They're really blowing up. We have a code, Beard Crew. It's on your screen. You get 25% off. It's a huge discount. I have my own small business, and like 25% discounts I don't give just to anybody. So that lets them know we sent you. You get a great discount, and you get awesome upgrade to your wardrobe. So check out localmenace.com.
And then also, we're going to shout out Rodeo Coffee. You see their Instagram handle there. You can follow them on Instagram. Check out all their monthly menus with September. Right around the corner, they're going to have 3 or 4 new drinks coming out, so check that out. They're open Thursday through Sunday, 7 to 11:30 out in the Walsh neighborhood here in Fort Worth. That's West Fort Worth, right inside the neighborhood there. They've got iced drinks, hot drinks, and you can also buy bagged coffee, so for your own at-home brewing as well. So check them out on Instagram and go get some coffee from them.
Coffee is
Heck yeah.
life. And then last one is my little company, Ish Beard Works. We are actually going to go through a rebrand here real soon.
Say, soon
Switching
to
to
be.
Ish Body Works. We're gonna go ahead.
I was gonna say, man, I'm
Um,
sorry. Like Ish Body Works, man. It's not just about the beards. Yeah, he's got a powerful one. He's got a majestic one. You could have one like that too, but maybe you're like me. Maybe it's like a little bit less. Maybe you're not capable of producing, that type of ness. Well, you can still have a little something to keep your beard looking good, and also keep the rest of your body feeling fresh, right? They're branching out, expanding. That's what the Body Works is all about, to have something not just for your face, but really to help you all over and keep you feeling fresh and smelling good. So, Adam, keep doing that, because that's awesome, man. Small business stuff here in the Metroplex. Got to be supporting them. We need to help them.
Yes. Well, appreciate it. Yeah, so check us out, ishbeardworks.com for the time being. And then actually that web address will work forever. So, but yeah, let's get into it. Our new segment, we kind of truncated a little. So we got a couple of stories. We got a main topic we're going to talk about. But the first one and the most interesting of these little stories, something we missed while we were gone. Nick checked it out live in Oklahoma City on TV.
Yeah.
Live coverage of the mullet under eight. I'm going to pull up the article. We have the mullet championship.
Yeah. So I was in Oklahoma City for work, and this is like a Wednesday morning around, I don't know, 7. So most people are like, if they're at home and they watch the news, like this is when they're watching, 7 o'clock Wednesday morning. And Oklahoma City, pretty decent sized market. Like we're not talking, middle of nowhere, but like the lead story at like 7:15, right in the middle of the watch hour, was 4 local kids made the finals of the USA mullet or kids mullet championship. And you can see some, or at least one of them right now on the screen. I don't think he's one from Oklahoma, but this is the competition that they were facing.
Just
And
4.
I want to point out some of the names of these places. Pocahontas, Arkansas.
I've been there.
Like, that doesn't surprise you that kid has a mullet, right?
Okay,
no.
no, not at all. Like none of these states, I'm sure we're not going to be surprised by any of the states that we see here. But can we just start at the top, and
Yes.
we'll just go down this list, because First of all, this poor kid. Like,
He looks
Dude.
awesome.
start right there, right? Are these kids being forced to do it, or at this age, is this about the adult in the room?
I think it's kind of like
this is the
it's
move.
kind of the both thing. Like the kid that his dad pushes him to be really good at football. Like he likes football, but like not that much. I think that's probably part of this here. Like, oh, I want to have a mullet because they're like kind of cool right now. Like they're back or whatever. And so some of these kids probably said like, oh, I want to have a mullet. And then the dad's like, no, we got to cut it straight across, straight in the back. Like we got to put on these big glasses. Like, you know, we got to make you, you know, and I guarantee you he wasn't the one saying, I want to wear an American flag shirt there. So I think dad or maybe even mom pushed.
All right, you think dad's fingerprints are all over this? I think dad's fingerprints are in the haircut itself. Like I think dad cut that straight line across the front. Like that's something that a rookie haircutter would do. An inexperienced, try to save money haircutter would do. And man, the maintenance on this guy, like that is pretty freaking easy though. Like this, and you're done. This and you're done. Okay.
Not even that, because look at the side; it's tapered off.
Like good for him. And by the way, I used to live in North Carolina. Carthage. I'm not really necessarily sure where that is, but doesn't surprise me. North Carolina's on the list.
All right, next one is
show me this little kid. All right, this is definitely about his parents. All right.
Yeah.
The thing is
he like 4?
This kid is like 2.
Yeah, that's a little kid.
This kid is younger than my daughter at 3.5.
Yeah, that's insane.
My thing on this one is I feel like this is the mom's doing.
Yeah.
Because this is a mom perm, like up and shit. It's all like done up and I bet like was sprayed. But look at the back and how like straight and combed it is. Look at that picture on the right.
Yeah, he says that mane and tail shampoo.
This poor kid is staring out like Pocahontas in headlights.
It's Joe Dirt's son.
That is Joe Dirt's son. Good reference. All right. Okay.
That's about him.
All right.
Ulysses, Kentucky.
This dude
what,
actually deserves some credit. Because there's 2 things going on here. Well, there's like 3. Man, maybe has like 4 things going on here, right? All right. That stand
so many
out.
Layers.
All right. Redhead, right? Pasty white skin. It's not his fault. It's redhead, but unfortunately, both items like cause it to stand out a little bit. Curly Q on the top, but the back is like very well kept and straight, like almost luxurious. And
like there's maintenance he's having to do.
Yeah, on the left, like he looking kind of cute.
So what's the maintenance? Is he curling the top or straightening the back?
I think he's straightening the back.
I think he's straightening everything. Everything underneath the ears he's dealing with, and everything on top he's just waking up and going like, "All right, fine. You do what you do up there. You do what you do."
Yes. So cash from Ulysses. Oh, it's another dang.
Does anyone know? Is it? I don't want to butcher. Is it La Jolla? Is it
La Jolla?
Does anyone know where that is? Because I don't.
Oh, not a clue.
Not a clue.
To be honest, this isn't too impressive to me. Like so far, this is the worst of the bunch.
This is a terrible one. This one.
Yeah.
This one's badly done. Really.
And he's a finalist.
It just feels badly done.
La Jolla is on the border near McAllen.
Okay.
Like right on the border. He's got the smirk, though. I think he wears it well. The shirt's awesome.
Hilliard, Florida.
Area 4.
This guy's old enough to know better. That's the thing.
The thing about there's some upkeep with this. I mean, look at the crimp on that left hand side. I mean, he's getting the moose and crimping that bottom part. I mean,
Bro,
are those
crimped
highlights?
out.
Yes, he is.
Dude,
I mean,
he's permed up and crimped out.
It's very 80s though. It doesn't strike me much as a mullet, more like
That's
something you'd see like in Twisted Sister video.
Yeah, it's almost 80s rocker
Yeah.
hair more so than it is mullet, but I guess some of that was. Yeah, he probably needs to go a little bit shorter on the sides to make me feel like that is full-blown mullet. But damn, that thing is powerful. That thing is
I think that's
powerful.
our last one. Yes.
I think I'm gonna go with Cash. Is he the redhead? I think of these.
Was it Cash?
Yeah.
I think
Kentucky
that's the
boy.
most impressive, personally.
Yeah. He's a redheaded pasty skin kid. He's got to do something,
Adam, who's your
Gotta
vote
do
for?
something. I don't know. Rustin's, cute little kid, but
Rustin's crazy.
I don't know if I'm going. Cash. I'm gonna go with Cash.
Man, I guess I'm just a sucker for the little kid. Rustin is I think I'd have to go Rustin just because. Look at that thing. The top, the Joe Dirtiest of them all. Like Joe.
Yeah, he's.
If you just called this a Joe Dirt lookalike contest, I would probably give the winner like whoever came closest to that look.
Mm-hmm. Well, heck, that's the winner right there.
Good stuff, though. Way to go, Nick. Good find, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Yeah. If you ever spend some time in Oklahoma City, I think they're looking for news stories. So you could probably find yourself on the local news. This is like the
local
ABC,
news place is looking
the
for
ABC affiliate. I mean,
I'll just throw it out there.
Yeah.
Show mullet competition.
Well. Anyway, but that was I wonder. We'll have to figure out who won. Maybe we'll come back next week and figure out who won it all. And
yeah,
unless it says it in the article.
No, this is the finalist art because this is from 10 days ago. I'm sure I could probably find it before we get out of there. But the next story is it's been covered, and this is kind of a showing what we missed. But in San Luis Obispo, California, the cops responded to a 911 call that came in from a zoo. And apparently it was hung up. The call came in, was hung up. Police go to investigate, as they'll do when a 911 call is made, whether there's a response or not. They search and they find that they couldn't find who made the call. And as they're investigating, kind of looking around, figuring it out, they come to the conclusion that the capuchin monkey.
Capuchin, I think is how you say it.
Capuchin.
Pretty sure.
The monkey basically found a cell phone in a golf cart and just started pushing buttons and hitting 911.
This is like has Jumanji vibes to it a bit here. The crazy monkeys take over.
Yes.
That was my first thought seeing this was Jumanji.
I'm not all that surprised here, but I don't think the monkey dialed 911. I think there's like a code for phones where if you just like hold down 9, it automatically dials 911 for you.
Mm-hmm.
And that may be, correct me if I'm wrong on that. And if I am, I'm just talking out of my ass, so I apologize. But I thought there was something like that where if you just held down a singular button, it might call it automatically. But either way, funny story that, wish they would have wound up swatting somebody. I wish they would have been the ones behind swatting Marjorie Taylor Greene or something like that. That would have been real hilarious. But
the sad part is the
bummer that the cops had to waste their time responding to that.
Well, the monkey was killed when the cops kneeled on his neck for 9 minutes. No, sorry, too soon.
monkeys
Did I
are
say that out loud?
legitimately like one of my fears. Like I'm pretty terrified of monkeys. Like if somebody had a pet monkey, I would not.
Because they're smarter than
go near
us.
it. Oh yeah.
There's reason to be terrified. Like they are, if they want to. Well, I say that if they want to take us, right, they could take us. But then again, I mean, they are the one in the cages. So who am I talking about?
Yeah, I've been scared since I was, 15 years ago now. There's a monkey that was a chimpanzee that was been in movies. It was like a Hollywood chimpanzee, and it ripped somebody's face off. And then I saw the video of the person after they had like a face transplant, and it gave me nightmares. So I don't mess with monkeys.
Yeah, I've seen that. Not a fan.
Have you seen a face transplant, Roy?
Have I seen a face transplant? No,
Yeah.
I've seen Boardwalk Empire, and that's about the closest thing I've got to a fake face.
It's not like Face Off the movie. It's really disturbing. So
Never seen Face Off. Here it's a great one. Never seen it.
we got to do a Nick Cage like movie reviews segment every week. Nick Cage is criminally underrated. But anyway, moving on, our main story, the big topic, and we'll spend a little time on this if we want. The student loan debt forgiveness just came out. It's got people on the left super excited, people on the right thinking that they've been robbed. I think it's great. I know, Roy, you put out something talking about it. Just want to get your thoughts. Nick, any thoughts on this? Are you being helped by it?
Me first.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, I am not being helped by it. I have paid off all of my loans. Was fortunate enough to be able to do that several years ago, so I'm not being helped by it.
Then are you pissed?
So let me walk through. I would say no, but when I first started like getting involved politically, and I just mean like voting and like hearing people talk about certain issues, and I heard it's probably Bernie say like, "Oh, we're going to cancel student loan debt," and when I first heard that, I was like, "Oh, I don't like that. Like, I paid mine off. Like, why don't these people have to pay theirs? Like, they made that decision. Like, went through that whole process, you know, that you hear people say." But then as I've gotten older and like more aware of the world around me and more aware of like how awful these companies are that typically give out these loans and the interest rates and all these things, the more I was like, well, heck yeah, like there are people like buried in student loan debt that when they signed that dotted line, really didn't understand, like had no idea, like didn't have anyone to guide them. And so if we can help them out, great, absolutely, let's do it. And I read something interesting about this weekend, like just kind of scrolling social media. Somebody said like not every law, or this isn't a law, but like not every, we'll just use law for lack of a better term, not every law that we put in place has to benefit everyone. Like, so just because it doesn't benefit me doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Like, you know, it's not hurting me at all. In fact, it's helping someone that lives down the street from me. Great. Like maybe they'll have a path to like actually, you know, better themselves, better their family, help their kids. Like that's, you know, significant. So, several years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever it was, when I first, like, I'll say this, when I first heard it, part of me was like, no, I don't want that. Like, I'll you know, vote for this, I'll vote for this, I'll vote for this, but I'm not going to vote for that because I paid mine off and I want Joe next door to have to do the same thing. Like, you know, you've got to pay off what you signed up for. But I've come a long way since then, and now I'm happy about it, and hopefully, you know, really helps people out. And if it can be a good thing that like helps other people, like generally, I'm gonna support it. Like I'm not in favor of anything that's like gonna, you know, keep the foot on the neck of somebody that like is just drowning, you know, financially. So happy for it. Hopefully, you know, provide some people some relief. And you know, I don't know all the ins and outs of what needs to happen in order for this to like really take place, or if we're just good to go. Y'all can fill me in there, but yeah, that's kind of what's been my thought process the last several days here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool
Roy?
because I mean, I was in the same boat. Like I was fortunate enough to be able to pay off my student loans. And, from the standpoint of people thinking that because I had to go through this hardship, others should have to go through it as well. That's just such a backwards ass sorority fraternity vibe of thinking. And that, like, yeah, we all thought hazing was shitty, but since I had to go through it, the next batch should have to do it too. It happened in the business that I was in. I had a colleague once tell me that, like, well, I dealt with worse than you did, so you should be able to deal with it. And I remember asking them, like, but didn't you think it was pretty shitty of what you had to deal with when you dealt with it? Well, yeah, but can't change it, was almost kind of the response. And it's like, well, here's the opportunity to do that. And when I think of like targeted help, we look back within the last couple of years at PPP loans. And yes, the idea was that they would go to small businesses and help companies like keep themselves afloat. But what reality actually took place is that multi-million and billion-dollar companies got millions of PPP loans forgiven that they're never going to have to pay back. And we don't really have any proof that that money was spent to keep employees around. Right? They just kind of get to say that it was, and that's enough. Whereas this is targeted towards people specifically earning less than $125,000 within their household. So from that standpoint, like there's going to be people that still have student debt that still have to pay it, and they're still going to be pissed, understandably. But hopefully it's only affecting the people that like are already in a more difficult financial position to begin with. And I will always approve of targeted help towards individual families like this, right? That actually go to helping a family's bottom line than I will towards targeted relief towards businesses and corporations. Like I'll always be in favor of targeted towards individuals and families.
Yeah. And that's the way I look at it. I actually read Goldman Sachs crunched the numbers and essentially came out with the conclusion was it's not going to help as much as the left wants it to, and it's definitely not going to hurt anything like the right saying. It's going to have a marginal impact on spending through the Christmas season from middle class, but again, it's the people who are opposed to it. I think the underlying opposition is it's not fair.
Yeah.
That's someone got something that I didn't.
Again, I had to do it, so why shouldn't you have to go through it? Right? Like, and we should kind of in almost every industry, like societal thing, right? Shouldn't we be efforting towards a better way to do it? Right? A better way to drive or a better way to like create mass transit in a city, right? A better way to manage pollution, a better way to manage like population growth and energy efficiency and usage. Like that is what, quite honestly, our development and our survival of society is all about. So I don't know. I just don't see why people would be opposed to that if it's going to be better. But again, like the messaging is so powerful against it, man. And it's so well funded. And so well targeted these days because they have the information on the areas that are susceptible to this type of messaging, low income, not, college educated. Like it's easy to see why it's so divisive.
Yeah. I will actually, my wife and I, just the way it's all set up, not sure, but we might get between us 40,000 in relief, which would be
nice. That'd be great. That'd be dope, man. Yeah. For a small business owner, dude, again, like there's nothing that would make me happier than to hear that took place for someone like you.
Yeah. So it's good. And I see, obviously see it as a blessing and a good thing that's going to help out, but it didn't even take care of half my our combined debt, but you know, it's a little less pressure on us. So I know there's a lot of people feeling like me. It's didn't take care of everything, but man, it took the edge off. It really kind of gives you more confidence, and you feel a lot better knowing that you've got a little more wiggle room in your paycheck every month. So I'm for it, and I just don't like seeing all the negativity around it, just mostly for jealousy.
Yeah, I agree.
So that was our top story, but our funnest story is, do we have a Nick Hates It?
Oh, we do. We do.
Oh, we do.
Fire it up.
Okay.
All right. Nick Hates It this week. We talked some bathroom talk earlier, and I recently started a new job, and in fact, using more of a community bathroom setting. So there's, my old job, it was a one toilet, one sink. You shut the door, you get your own privacy. This is more, multiple urinals, multiple stalls, other people in there. And what I have learned is that bathroom conversation is alive and well. Back at the radio station days, I was always working when nobody was there. So it's just me for the most part, maybe one other guy, nobody really in there. I'm working the 8 to 5 time slots. People are in the bathroom. Especially older gentlemen, I have found they're all for conversations when you're standing, at the urinal. Or maybe you're standing there taking care of business. He walks in, fires up a conversation. How's it going?
Extend a hand to introduce himself.
I haven't seen that yet. What plans do you have this weekend? I'm just trying to get back to my desk. I don't need to have a conversation with you. It's kind of making me nervous. Then you also have to deal with the people who are, in the stall. When you're in there, you're trying to act like, I don't want anybody to know that I'm in here. But then you've got these two guys, they're just carrying away, talking up a storm. Multiple people have started a conversation with me while we're just in the bathroom. And then you're washing your hands and you finish up and he's still standing there, and you can't just stand there and keep talking. So you have to awkwardly end the conversation and walk out. Then you hope you don't see him. It's a weird dynamic that I have not really had to experience much, but I really do not enjoy it.
Now, is this conversation only taking place urinal to urinal, or is this stall to stall? Are we playing a game of battleships?
Yeah. I haven't seen the stall to stall. People pretty much just take care of their business, but just urinal to urinal. Maybe there's 3. So, 2 here, 1 in the middle. Maybe
it's hard to have a conversation when you're carpet bombing.
Depends on who you are.
There are the dividers, thankfully, in the urinal. So we're not, rubbing shoulders here. We've got we've got a buffer there. But it's real weird. I don't need to talk to you. I've got enough friends, and I certainly don't need new friends while I'm in the bathroom. This is just a quick trip, and I'm trying to get back to work. But it's something that I've learned over the past couple of weeks that I am not a fan of. So anytime I walk in and nobody's in there, I'm pretty happy about that. And it's not everybody, but typically it seems to be, older guys, maybe 50s.
Is there anybody you avoid? If you see that guy go to the bathroom, you're like, all right, I got to know he's out of there.
No, but
before I make my move.
Sometimes the cleaning crew's around and they're cleaning, the main bathroom. So all right, got to go out, got next floor or the hallway over. And one time, it was almost in an Adam situation, and it's the men's and women's restroom on either side. And I had to go, but they were cleaning the women's restroom, and you're kind of, it's a ticking time bomb there. You never know when are they going to come in the men's restroom. And if you're the only one in there, they think, oh, nobody's in here. They bust right in. And then you have to what do you do? Cough, make a loud sound. Say somebody's in here, and you let them clean. So I was able to get out, in time there, but I was a little nervous the cleaning crew was going to walk in on me.
So when you're talking about talking at the urinals, it popped in my head. Remember Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, when he's trying to see everybody's ring for the missing jewel, and he's like, peeking over the stall to look at the
Yeah.
guy using the restroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that reminds me of.
Oh.
I don't know if you ever heard it, but that was one of the better bits that I did. Was the bathroom sing along, and I would start a song
I think
and I would sing a verse. Yeah, I got friends in low places where the whiskey drowns and I'd kind of try to toss it over to the guy in the stall over to see if I could get him to sing back to me. And I actually had some decent success on it. It was I got a funny reaction from one dude who asked me if I was a cop or something. Asked me what I was asking him to sing for. I was like, I'm just looking to get somebody to sing with me, man.
Oh, that's good.
funny.
It was fun.
But yeah.
Getting to
Good
sing in the
bit.
back.
It was a good bit. Should have done that one more.
Oh man, yeah, you don't need to talk in the restroom. My son did that. He started talking to me or the movie theater. I'm like, let's wait till we get out. We don't need to.
Yeah.
We don't need to talk.
So that's all I got this week, but definitely hate that quite a bit.
It is hateable. Well, we're scooting along. We're going to try to get out of here in the next few minutes, but we have some TV movie talk. I can't even remember all this. So I've been really a lot of new stuff, content coming out, but the three things I've been jamming on, and y'all have something else, throw it out there. But the House of the Dragon has come out. Episode 1 was great. Two shows that are kind of indie shows that I highly recommend. One on Hulu called This Fool. Y'all heard of that?
I feel like my wife brought it up to me.
Seen previews.
Oh.
Not previews, advertisements for it.
Yeah.
It's not like a
highly
preview.
recommend.
It's like a guy holding a cup that says like "I love you" next to his like gangster cousin or family member or whatever. You know what I'm saying? He's the straight laced
Mhm.
one. I'm a little cute. Here's my mug. Say hug me. The other one's like, I got a mug that says like gangster for life.
Yeah.
How's it gonna make it work?
It's
Could be funny.
it is.
Okay.
It's very funny.
Okay.
Yeah, I blew through season 1. It reminds me a lot of my wife's family. She's Hispanic. It takes place in LA. She's from LA. It's great. I love it. I don't want to spoil it, but it's fantastic. There's a bit of that odd couple routine to it with those two, the main people, but it's got a lot of dynamic, and it's got the guy from he was always a young guy from Sopranos, the young nephew, the Michael Imperion, or I can't ever say his name.
Really?
Yeah.
The nephew.
He's
Wait, hold on. Not his son. The nephew who I don't want to spoil Sopranos, but who dies in the final season.
Yeah.
Yeah, who he lets die. He's in that show?
Yeah, this guy right here. I'll pull up a picture of him.
Oh, I like. See, look at you, man. Look at
There you
this
go.
Producing
Yeah, now
bastard
he's-
right here. Nick, you see this producing son of a bitch?
Thank you. Now he's much older than this. Is a younger picture, but yeah, him. Michael,
Damn,
I
that's
can't
a
see
younger
him.
picture. He looks old as fuck in that picture.
Well, he's all gray in the show.
Okay.
Maybe it's
Man,
like
I feel
5
like he
years
looks
younger.
old as shit in that picture.
Yeah. So him, he's really
Ooh.
good in it. He's amazing.
He's not ready for that camera right there in that
No.
photo. He's
Oh,
not
man.
anticipating
Yeah.
that picture to be taken right there. He's going,
Huh? But yeah, so he's in it. Great show. Highly recommend This
Okay.
Fool. And then
Nick,
on,
did you watch House
a
of
new-
Dragon?
Oh yeah.
I did not. Not
Did you do
sure
the
that
Game
that-
of Thrones thing? Did you do the Game of
Yeah.
Thrones phenomenon?
No, haven't seen it.
Ooh.
Not super interested in watching it, to be honest. And not at all interested, probably is the better way to put it.
Oh my
Um,
God. Nick takes a cutter squat on Game of Thrones.
No, I mean, it's not like I don't hate it. I haven't, no reason to. I just also have no interest in watching it. So,
Oh man,
It was-
well, okay. I mean, I'll join you on that journey, Adam. I will join you because I watched Game of Thrones all the way through. My wife and I will pick that up, although we're waiting a little bit, right? Like I don't like to jump into these shows right when they start, because if they're going to go for 4 or 5 seasons, then we're going to have to be a part of the group of people that is like, oh, I can't. We got to wait 8 more months until the next season. The next season doesn't come out until 2024, and they're splitting it over 2 years. They're going to show 6 episodes in 2024 and 6 episodes in 2025. I'm like, fuck. I don't want to wait that long. You get like 3 seasons in the can. Show me that you're good enough to survive that long, and then I will give you a chance. And I know that's ass backwards, because like shows don't get a chance if I don't give them the first or second season, but that's my standard. There's too much shit out there, and I can rewatch shit that makes me laugh like more than something new might attempt to make me laugh. I don't know. Maybe I'm alone in that, but fuck. Didn't want to give you a Roy's rant, but there it goes.
There you go. It's I'm gonna watch it. With Game of Thrones, I only got it. If it wasn't for the pandemic, I probably never watched it.
Okay.
Just finding something to watch. I burned through it.
Okay, so you weren't in the phenomenon either then.
I watched it after the final show. Yeah.
Wow. Well, see, that would be a pleasure to go back and watch the show from beginning to end with no stop. That would be a pleasure, because Nick, that was one of those shows where like they'd touch a storyline and they wouldn't touch that storyline again for like 5 episodes. And if you had to wait 5 weeks between a storyline being revisited, I'm sorry, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough at watching TV to be able to reconnect the dots.
Yeah.
My synapses don't fire like that. That's the right word.
Yeah. I just liked it. I thought it was cool just because everybody, oh, this is my new favorite character. He's dead next week. God,
I know. Yeah.
By season 2, you're like, you don't get attached to anybody. Like, they're all going to die. I don't care.
Yeah, you realize real quick that, like, your guys, if he's good, he's dead. If she's good, she's dead.
Yeah, it's the worst. The worst people make it so long.
Seriously. And what was the last show? So this fool, that,
and then and then the third one is called Sprung. It's on a new app. It's by Amazon called Freevee. It's new. It's all Amazon kind of dumping some stuff.
Deep diving on me there. I got to go into Amazon, and then I got to go into like another platform we'll call Freevee.
Yeah, if you got like Roku, you can download the Freevee app for free. Now it's like watching a show on normal TV. But it's made by the people who did My Name Is Earl and Raising Hope.
Okay.
And it's starring the 2 grandparents in Raising Hope, Virginia, and I forget his name, the dad and mom. So they're the 2 main stars, and it takes place in 2020. These 2 guys are in prison. They get released because of the pandemic. The governor's releasing nonviolent offenders. The main guy who plays the grandpa in Raising Hope, he's been in for 26 years because he was selling pot, and they had mandatory minimum sentences. So he got caught with like 3 grams of pot and got 30 years in prison. So he gets out early, and he's just like, it's him kind of acclimating to the world at the beginning of the pandemic.
I don't hate that storyline because it sounds kind of real. Shoot, in another lifetime, that could have been me.
And it's funny because they're kind of making fun of it. Like the first episode, second episode, they bring in like, they start showing the news where Trump's like, maybe you can drink bleach. And so the mom or the main lady is like, her and her son are like filling up like bleach and Clorox and like house cleaners, and they're going to drink it because the president said that it could help. But then they stop at the last minute. It's pretty funny. It's wild. It's that same type of humor you saw in My Name's Earl, Raising Hope. It's a little more, it's more R-rated because they could get away with a lot more on a streaming platform. So which I think makes it more real. Like you said, you got this whole storyline. This guy's coming out of prison after almost 30 years to a pandemic world, and he's like wandering around like this, trying not to touch anything because he thinks he's going to die from the COVID. It's pretty comical. But those are the 3 shows I've jumped on lately. Have y'all discovered anything new?
I have not. No.
Nick? Yeah.
Well, you guys will eventually learn. I do not consume a lot of modern new television. We are watching. We talked about this before. We watch In the Dark, which is on AMC, maybe. It's like season 3 or 4 of that show. It's pretty good. We watch that every week. Survivor's coming back next month, like 3 weeks from now. Y'all got plenty of time. Hop on board there, and that's about it. I think my wife's been watching. My wife is
September 9th.
Oh yeah, Cobra Kai, September 9th. My wife has been watching a lot of the Indian dating show on Netflix, so that's most of the time what's on the TV. In our house.
I could see that eye roll, Roy.
No, I'm not eye rolling. I'm like, I know it. Hell yeah.
Oh,
My wife,
okay.
anything that's on Bravo, bro, is like on my YouTube like list. Any Real Housewives iteration, any version of Southern Charm, which is like Real Housewives in South Carolina, but with like petty, like, I don't know. I thought originally when they started the show, this was like 20-year-olds. Now I come to find that like they're damn near 50. So they just like come from like money, and they, I guess, have all the time in the world to just like throw parties and be petty as shit. Really, it's sad that we spend so much time watching it. And then finally, Below Deck Med, Below Deck Sailing Yacht, Below Deck Australia, which might be my favorite version because it features a chef who literally is like on camera every other minute being like, I don't want to fucking impress these people. I don't give a shit about these people. This job means nothing to me. I don't give it. And it's the first time I've watched at least like 10 or 12, maybe 15 seasons of like Below Decks. Many different chefs, right? And every single one that comes through, like they want to look good or try to look good. They don't always look good, but many of them are like extremely skilled and talented, like Top Chef type of material shit. And this guy is just every other show, like, I'm just gonna like throw us together some shit for breakfast. Like they won't give a fuck. I'm like, they're paying for a yacht, dude.
Yeah.
Like food is like 60 to 70% of the experience, I'm sure. And it's just really funny to see this guy because I'm thinking to myself, God, I don't know. Would I ever put myself out there on TV basically nuking any chance I have of any other job in the future, right? Well, I don't give a shit about this job. I don't give a shit about these customers. I don't care to impress anybody. You're a chef. Who's going to want to hire you with that attitude? Sorry.
You get caught in those moments. Awesome.
Good times.
Well, there's a lot of new stuff coming out. We'll have plenty to talk about coming up with the new shows. A lot of things. The new Lord of the Rings I'm really excited about. I don't know.
Next week, little Cowboys preview, little NFL preview I think we need to dive into. And, I mean, shoot, we might go ahead and tell the people it's going to be an all-NFL show. All right, NFL-heavy show, and just make it that way if you guys are down for that. I mean, Adam, I don't know how much of a sports nut you are, but I know Nick's probably – that's easy peasy.
I'm a sports nut. I just know it whips people, so I try not to go crazy with it. But
fair.
Yeah, we talk sports all day.
Well, fuck, we'll whip you one time because it's the NFL, goddammit, and it's like Christmas. It's better than Christmas.
Heck yeah. I'm actually watching highlights right now. I don't know why. It's just on, but
I'm serious.
That's all I got.
I don't know how – it's hard, though, man, because this preseason stuff has been bullshit. It's the way that it is now, they don't really even play it. It's like barely worth watching. And then this upcoming week, Labor Day weekend, is a bye week. We won't have anything to watch. So it's like almost you get this incredible blue balls before the release, which maybe makes it that much
colorful
sweeter.
Way to explain it.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, hey, if you've ever waited a long time and then, let it go, you know that you, tend to produce a little bit more.
Well,
angst and vigor.
We'll get onto some football next week. I think that's all I got. I think that's it for this week. Gentlemen, I appreciate you. Check out our sponsors. And until we see you again, stay above average.